I'm about to speak to a very exceptional woman. I would say she's a woman after my own heart because she resonates with that part of me which is reaching out to people to tap into their own intuition and to really listen from within in terms of what to do then in the world outside. So the action that you take is more of an expression of who you are in your most essential, authentic place. So I'm going to speak to Gul and let her tell you what she does and who she is.
Thank you. I'm Gulrukh Khan, and I'm a documentarian and a holistic practitioner. I also chair ALL London, which is an organisation that is a community initiative under the umbrella of a huge charity in India called ALL, which is All Ladies League, but it's global and has about 75 chapters around the world.
So tell me a little bit about the documentarian side of you. What kinds of things have you done and what's been the driver behind those?
Okay. I've been doing documentary filmmaking for about 20 years now, and I have done lots of different types of styles working for other people, but also films that are to do with social consciousness, our evolution, things to do with the environment, such as dolphins and, what's happening, the impact of man on the environment. The spirit of martial arts, which is very closely connected to my interest, which is about energy and what we're made up of. And currently I'm doing a documentary on the Bosnian pyramids.
Interesting. So, of those documentaries, can you name any that we might recognize or that people might already have seen?
The one documentary that you might be familiar with is called Blue Velvet in Sinai, and it was a 5-part series that was about dolphins, marine life and human impact. And we made it quite a while back, and it was to do with a lone dolphin that suddenly showed up on the coast of the Sinai Desert and was really outside the village of deaf and dumb Bedouin, and how that dolphin changed the entire region. But of course, it was the microcosmic story within the whole macrocosm of what's going on out there in the world. So it covered captivity and anti-captivity. It covered dolphins and their healing capacity and a number of other things. But the important thing is that the main gentleman who was all the way through the film was a gentleman called Richard O'Barry, and he trained the flipper dolphins in the 70s. And he was very lucky to pick up an award. In fact, he picked up the Oscar for The Cove in 2010. And then it was a couple of years after that that somebody said to me, well, you've televised the series and you just put it on the shelf. Why don't you just get it out there again? So I was introduced to a woman who had a film festival, and I was very lucky and humbled that that won Best Documentary Feature and got premiered in New York, and that was in 2012. Yeah.
Say something about the ALL and the kind of work that you do with them and the work that they themselves do.
Sure. ALL is an acronym. It stands for All Ladies League. It was founded in India by Dr. Harbin Aurora and her husband Vinay Rai. And their primary aim was to really mobilize women, primarily in India, really empowering women, educating them about the fact that they have leadership capabilities, helping them to become more confident, raising awareness about the issues that were happening for women out there. And of course that spread pretty globally, and they have 75 international chapters. It's not Asian driven, it is international around the world. And then I attended their inaugural event in Goa last year, and that was absolutely amazing. It had such a huge lineup of powerful speakers and contributors, and it's almost like a large part of India got behind it because they'd never ever had a conference of that nature. Even the Prime Minister endorsed it in the newspapers. You had Vidya Balan coming and speaking there on a plenary session. And then I was privileged for them enough to be offering me the role of chair for UK and London. And what we've done is actually set up a community initiative, because London and Indian regulations are a bit different in terms of, obviously charities and things. So we have a separate initiative that's called ALL London, under the umbrella of ALL Global. And of course, we use all their social media, their networking, whatever, but we have very specific needs for the UK. We launched in London at the beginning of January. And I think our mission is to really empower, mobilize, and honor women, and really do things that help women to connect, to highlight issues that are going on out there, to give every woman a voice, basically, either through events or networking and social things and through the website. But it is really to allow women from all backgrounds, doesn't matter what religion, what nationality, what age, to recognize and honor each other. And of course, men who honor the empowerment of women. So it isn't a feminist type of thing, although it obviously is primarily about women. We are very much including men as well, because it is about just the balance. A lot of people say, oh, women, we can ostracize men by basically just talking about women all the time. But when we start to incorporate men into it, it becomes much more of a balanced vision.
So, in your view, in your journey, in the things that you've learned, what do you feel are 2 or 3 critical things that you would like women to adapt to it or adopt or foster as qualities in themselves?
Well, as also a holistic practitioner for the last 20 years, sort of in a number of modalities, I do work with a lot of people and their issues. And I see what's been embedded in their subconscious. I see those limiting belief systems. I see where they've been repressed from sort of cultural expectations. And my real message to women is that there are so many other women out there in the world who you can connect with, who will help to support you in your vision. You have to learn to understand that everything starts from within. So it's not about necessarily even also seeking things from the outside. We have to do the inner work. We have to sit with ourselves. We have to understand ourselves. And that's the biggest journey of all, isn't it? That's the hardest journey, is understanding who you truly are as you slowly unlock your gifts. So I would say to women, just do things like meditative practice, be mindful, sit down with yourself, even if it's 10 or 15 minutes a day, be still and allow the information to come to you, allow things to just drop from the universe into your consciousness, and then you'll feel much more kind of balanced and earthed. Secondly, to be physical, because the body is your temple, and if you do things like yoga and dance and things that really help to expand your energy field, help you to feel joyful, then that's a large part of the vibration that you're putting out there to people. People want to support you more. These are things that we can do for ourselves. Also eating really well, being very mindful of the things that you eat, because you are what you eat. If you even just adopt those 3 principles, I think that is step number 1 to actually having the confidence to going out there and asking people to help to facilitate any visions you might have to do certain things in the world. Yeah.
Wonderful. And where can people find you?
They can go onto my website, which is www.allowmiracles.com, or if they want to know more about ALL London, it's www.all-londonuk.com.
Fantastic. Thank you for having this chat with me today.